welcome to This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. We have so much to get to today, and my special project has been officially announced. So hopefully you guys, audio is now connected. So let me go over on there and sounds good for you all. But my special project has been announced. High school foreign policy has taken a brand new turn, and SSALTW has been updated in both regards. And also, Samsung Galaxy One UI 7.0 came out. And I have some more updates. We talked about that last week. We need to talk about it this week. We have just so much to talk about today. So first, let's talk about the One UI 7.0 update that's coming out, and also a new update that's coming out on, let's see, the 16th, which will be Monday the 16th. So hopefully you guys can get in the beta program if you're not in the beta program already. For all my friends out there who are listening with Samsung Galaxy S24 and S24 Ultra series devices. So speaking of the device, Samsung Galaxy One UI 7.0 has actually been worse for battery. We are seeing streams of about 13 hours, not 13 hours screen on time, but 13 hours of just physical use, including standby time, which boils down to 4.5 hours of just regular use, like a phone actively being in use. That is on power saving mode with all the enhancements. I do have 120 hertz enabled, but it's on power saving mode. So that is terrible. That's actually worse than power saving mode on the S24 Ultra running One UI 6.0 or One UI 6.1.1 or whatever. You can go check back my article about that. It was in the summer, and then you can figure out when the betas will come out. Of course, I will install the betas and not the beta, but the stable. I didn't get the beta back then, but the stables. As soon as they come out. So I think it might have been on One UI 6.1, running whatever stock software came in the box, because I didn't get the phone, brand new. I mean, I got it new from T-Mobile, but I got it in the summer and not in February like everyone else did. Like, when it first came out. Anyway, when that article came out, I was getting 5 hours 30 minutes, and sure I have tweaked with the power saving settings, but that battery life has gone down 1 hour, only half a day's worth of battery life. This is supposed to be 1 day or maybe even 2 days worth of battery life. I mean, some people were saying that they got uh 15 hours SOT, 11 hours SOT, even 8 hours SOT, 1.5 hours uh, of usage time. So that's not very good. But hopefully, maybe Samsung can fix it out and roll it out in the beta. Maybe they can fix it out in the stable release that's going to come out soon. Hopefully, if they don't get that fixed right, hopefully they get it fixed over on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra series of devices. Unfortunately, they have not expanded the battery sizes since the S20 Ultra. The S20 Ultra came out when I was in 8th grade. The S20 Ultra came out pre-COVID. I remember watching the stream on my Chromebook in February. That's at school. I'm just checking something here. So, hopefully they can expand on the battery sizes and not just go and wait on the chips. The chip improvements that are going to come with the with the ultra chips, because you guys know what I like to say about chips is that the chips are getting a lot more powerful, but we have innovation that is grinding to a halt here. I mean, I'm only using a few applications that are basically the same, but if you have an S22 Plus and S24 Ultra, despite the battery improvements and performances, and it is having some problems here, because if we continually do this, if we keep improving the chip performance, then that's great and we'll have better battery life, but we won't have better phones because we don't have the applications that are needed to improve your life by any metric, because the applications are just not there. We don't have the developers that we need. And speaking of developers and app development, this actually might be a good thing for third-party operating systems. So hopefully you guys can see this on the screen. But as you guys know, the Department of Justice is trying to destroy Google. The Department of Justice is saying that it's too hard for users to switch search, even though in the Google Play Store, Google's own Play Store, if you go search Chrome, do it right now, you will get an ad for Edge, which will, of course, come preloaded with Bing. You can download Bing, you can download any search engine that you want onto your phone that has a mobile application. You can even type in the domain name. So yes, the Department of Justice is wrong. We've gone over that multiple times already, but we don't need to keep rehashing it. But they're trying to break up Chrome, right? But so I was thinking, like, how the DOJ might think, well, um, this we have this quote unquote duopoly, right? Back in 2013, you had other OSs, Symbian, BlackBerry OS. Feature phones are still a thing that ran their own custom OS, but now we have only Android, only iOS, and sure we have some third-party phones, but they do have some problems. And this article goes in and analyzes those problems in the third-party phones. So and not to say that I'm opposed to switching. I'd be more than happy to switch to a third party operating system on my phone, right? Especially if it brought some noticeable improvements. But I've gone hands on with iPhone support, and the iPhones are trash. Okay, I've gone hands on with Windows and switched from Chrome OS. Like I said, I was watching on a Chromebook in 2020. Now, of course, you guys know we're watching over here on a HP Windows 11 laptop. And of course, I did switch manufacturers before, but I'm happy with Samsung phones. I haven't switched from Samsung phones. I went from A71 5G to S22 Plus to S24 Ultra. You guys all know that. You guys can go read the reviews and see the pictures of those phones. And for laptops, of course, I went from Samsung Chromebook to Samsung tablet shortly to a Samsung Windows tablet and then to a Samsung laptop. And now I have my HP laptop. All right. So the thing about Google is that all the third-party alternatives to it, the alternatives to Gmail, alternatives to Google Search, like DuckDuckGo and FreeSpokes that we've gone over multiple times, they don't work well. But I'd be willing to try a third-party operating system. But the thing about third-party operating system is that they do not do well. So hopefully you guys can still see this on the screen. Is that the third-party operating system, right? Google and Apple killed them, not because of IP theft, but the quote unquote free market of operating systems won. Sometimes they tease the people like, oh, the free market will go out and build the road for you, whatever, right, whatever. But the free market actually did kill BlackBerry OS and Symbian because they failed to innovate. They failed to build for touch. And because of this, we now have, some boring applications that kind of switch over to each side. But that actually opens the door, opens the window for a third-party operating system to come through. Because as you guys know, we've gone through this multiple times, but the top 50 apps in the Play Store, 45 of them are all web-based. You guys can go back and go check the video. I'm actually going to have that video come out here. But we can go to the, top charts. Wow, top 3 is now T-Life, which is hilarious. It's for T-Mobile, I guess. And then, of course, you got TikTok, some QR code scanners, WhatsApp, ChatGPT, Timu, all rounding up, and then Instagram, Threads, and some screencast applications. But most of the useful applications are just kind of like scammy ads or maybe Chinese or South Korean, weird apps or spyware, whatever. These top applications, I've whittled them down to these applications. Would it be web or all web-based, right? So it's Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok for now, unless it gets banned on the 19th. Uber, Lyft, Pinterest, Snapchat, Spotify, ChatGPT, and YouTube. And these are some of the applications, especially Spotify, where people have apparently people really have to depend on Spotify. Like, I really need Spotify. I would switch to a flip phone, but I really need Spotify, right? And you might be thinking, well, where are the mapping applications and things of that nature? But in another article, I think it's called "Is Innovation Dead?" We talk about how these applications these are all third-party applications, right? The applications like what I have here on my home screen gallery, maps, files, notes, contacts, things of that nature, they can all be emulated. Remade by whoever the third-party OS manufacturer is, right? Let's say let's just pick some random company, whatever, wants to make their own phone, right? They can make their own, email client. They can make their own notes application. They can make their own gallery, as long as it's not trash. And there are some open source maps, like free maps. Even Here We Go Maps is pretty decent. You can download the entire United States of America on there as well. So there are some mapping applications out there that you could already use. So it's not a big problem for it's not a big problem for those key core applications to come up, especially like a file manager or anything like that. So YouTube, Google may restrict access to YouTube, as is their right to do so. They have every right to not put their applications on third-party platforms if they don't want to, right? I mean, if anything, that's allowing for competitors to rise up. And if any application doesn't want to come over, doesn't want to get ported over, and they're going to need these applications. Like if you have a phone that doesn't have TikTok, that doesn't have WhatsApp, that doesn't have Instagram, that doesn't have Snapchat, anything like that, doesn't have any of those applications, they're not going to accept it. So you can either have, and like version 1 of the OS, have Android emulation. BlackBerry did that, but they were too late into it. So I have decent Android emulation, or you can have you know, these are all web wrappers, so it'd be really easy to port some of these applications over. Maybe not too much WhatsApp, but Instagram. Instagram has a website, right? The Instagram app is just a bunch of filters and it has notifications. Instagram could easily roll that out, and if the company trusted them or paid them some money, because Instagram finally made a tablet version for Android now, right? But maybe if you were to pressure Meta to get their app suite over here to this third-party OS, to get into their good graces, then it might work out well for them. But if not, you can also build web wrappers or third-party clients for applications such as YouTube. If people really wanted Google Maps, you can have Android emulation capabilities. We're well past the era of killer apps, right? The BlackBerry's killer app was its email client, but now you can go into the Play Store and you can find 50 million email applications on there. Now I'm not recommending them all, but um, you can find lots of email applications on there. No one's like, oh, well, this is the best phone for email, nowadays, because it's ridiculous. Because there's like thousands of email applications in here. I mean, you can go even go check it. You just go check the Play Store. You can see email, right? But the problem is that these applications, they need to get ported over. And of course, some of these applications like Uber and Lyft, they'll have to have the GPS things. That there is actually third-party application, third-party OS, and it's Pine OS, and it's running Linux. And the problem with Linux is twofold. Actually, this really weird pipeline from like Linux to like putting all these like stupid pride flags in on your laptop. Like that go into any Reddit subreddit or go into Arch or something like that, and you'll actually see that pipeline. It's like, well, you like Linux? Well, I guess it's the freedom whatever. It's this really weird pipeline. Okay, so I don't know what that pipeline is, but it exists. There's this pipeline that sends you down there, which means that sometimes most of the people over on like the Linux side aren't the nicest and they aren't for the most GUI, have the most GUI support. But also, that means that the one advertising model of all these like alt tech niche things on both sides of the spectrum is privacy, 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 privacy. We don't want the government spying. Privacy, 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 privacy. I mean, that's been overdone. The privacy market and the spin-off market of what's it called? Minimalist technology. Phones like the light phone, which I basically called a scam, or even a no phone, which is basically a scam. It's a empty bag that they're selling for $17, or even like a brick or whatever. And even sometimes the kid Gab bark phone, whatever. Like these companies are all spin-offs of one another. This has already been overdone. People already know that think that these companies are spying on them, right? They already think that, right? If you want privacy, you can find all these services. That's an overdone, it's an overcooked market. So for any company to come in here and say, oh, privacy, 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 that's been done, been there, done that, right? You already have your alt tech, you already have your alt search engines, you already have your alt social media, you already have your alt everything. You got Blue Sky, you got Gab, you got FreeSpoke, you got DuckDuckGo, you got your stripped down Google phones, even your feature phones that are just running ASOP, right? So for any true third-party applications to thrive, OS to thrive, you cannot bank on the privacy or alt market. That market is already oversaturated, right? So anyway, let's go to this Linux phone here, which is a true third-party phone here, and they have their own OS, and it looks, decent, right? And and I'm not even talking about Linux community overall as a broader context of things, but what I said, like that weird pipeline where you go to Linux and like, oh, I really care about Linux, but then it's just like you go over to the Arch subreddit. That's where all these people hang out. Arch Linux, and Oh, nope, it's not there anymore. But I think it's some Linux subreddit that had pride flags, and of course you can see like a Linux computer, all these pride flag stickers on the back of the computers as well. So, um, anyway, the pipeline is really, really strong there in the Linux community. So that's also, it's weird, it's off-putting. As also, it's like, why do I have to use the terminal for everything? Why is it so confusing? Why do the websites look like it's from 2007? And can you please stop talking about free beer, free speech? I do not care. Okay, I just want my phone to work. I want it to run my applications, right? But anyway, the other problem with the Pine, with the Pine phones is that this third-party OS, and let's look at these specs. And this is a phone that's being sold in the year of our Lord 2024. This is December 12th. No, I read the date wrong. It is December the 14th. Okay, so it's almost 2025. Okay, let's listen to these specs. You have this GPU, CPU, whatever. I don't. It's not using a brand name chip, so we don't really know how good the specs are. But you can infer it from these specs. Oh, it's actually 128 gigabytes of storage now, so I have to update the article. It's still bad, but 128 gigabytes of storage. Only 4 gigabytes of RAM. Only 6-inch LCD screen. You can probably that chip's probably not good anyway. 13 megapixel camera, 8 megapixel camera. That's it. I mean, do you know what phone had 13 and 8 megapixel cameras? I know it wasn't wide angle back then, but even though in fact I have to say back then, I think the Galaxy Note 4 had a wide angle, not a wide angle, but like they called it wide angle, a camera 16 megapixels. Okay, so this is literally probably worse than the Galaxy Note 4. I'm pretty sure the processing is slightly better, but still, I mean, it's comparable to the specs of that phone. Only 13 megapixels. You know the processing is not going to be as good because those APIs and things and the things aren't going to work as well. Um, as the camera, these aren't good camera centers. Okay, like 12 megapixels is good, but for some reason 13 megapixels is cheap. Like you can go back in time, go read GSM. I mean, like, guys, go look at the J7 and J3 series of phones, which I like had for like 1 week. Um, which I had for 1 week. But those phones are not really good. Right, so the specs here are not good. Only 6-inch screen, 13 megapixel camera. The phone looks outdated. And you have these specs here. Like the problem is, apart from the overall issues with the Linux community and the overall lack of app selection, because people by and large have shown that they do not care about privacy, is that the specs are trash. Okay, the battery is trash. 3,000 milliamp hours. It's being described as Samsung J7 form factor, a form factor that was released in 2016, a phone that was released in 2016, 8 years ago, when Emily Jones was running for president, and she didn't run for president, but she won her election in 2016, which you have to talk about over on the Odyssey board. So no, Microsoft Google did not break the law. A form of duopoly. It's its only competition is phones like this with awful Linux communities, like just the overall Linux community. Um, and people do not, by and large, do not care about privacy being the one message. Meaning, if any company wants to step up and do it, it would have to be a big company that can do it, like Microsoft. And guess what? Microsoft failed, and it wasn't because Google didn't want its applications on there anyway. I mean, Microsoft doesn't even want you to use Google applications. You go on the Edge, like log in, you type in Chrome, you type in Google, and it will beg for you to use Bing. It will beg for you to use Edge. It will say it's faster and it's more power efficient or anything or things of that nature. It will literally beg you. Okay, even on the Google download Chrome download website, but Google doesn't have to do that. They're only on like 12% of computers worldwide and 50% of phones, and they don't have to beg. And if they can be Microsoft, they beat them fair and square. If Microsoft wanted to build its own video sharing distribution application like competitive YouTube, they should have done that. And when they do something, guys, Copilot I think is more popular than Gemini actually now. Even though Gemini is getting better because Copilot didn't have as many mistakes as Gemini did. So we are seeing healthy competition that's not being fostered by the Department of Justice. So is there any company that can bring it? Will X bring a true third-party mobile OS? I mean, we've been asking if people ask for Tesla phones. I don't know. Maybe they will come. Maybe they won't come. I don't have any inside information on that. But the truth of the matter is that these third-party Linux phones are not good. The death of the third-party OS is because of the bad advertising and the bad specs. So that's what needs to die, and it needs to die now. All right. Oh wait, no, I want the camera, so stop sharing the screen. There we go. That was our first topic for today. Let's see what other article we published. We also have another article that's coming out soon. It's going to be really, really exciting. It's going to have some tie-ins to the books. Also, make sure you guys click the affiliate links in the articles. It will help support the channel. These are Amazon affiliate links. So we have an article over here about the PS4 5 Slim. It was $75 off on Amazon, 15% off. And also the Samsung Galaxy Keyboard AI, which is very, very glitchy and very sensitive. So hopefully Samsung Galaxy AI can get that fixed as well. All right, AI video is big. MKBHD talked about OpenAI's Sora, which is coming out, and I want to talk about the the emergence of AI video, right? And people are getting really scared about this. But what we need to talk about is this is the video that he shared here. Look at this video. You guys can't see this, right? Yes, you can. Okay, good. Look at this video. Look how good it looks. Right? You might say, "Wow, that's terrible." You can make a fake news video. Now, of course, if anyone looks at this for more than 2 seconds, you can see that advisory is misspelled. It looks like it's trying to be spelled in Spanish, and then the words are bad. CBS, the S is kind of weird. I don't think CBS uses that font anyway. But whatever. That's not really the point of the MKBHD video or OpenAI Sora or this argument overall as a whole. You can go to Sora. I don't have a subscription. It costs like $20 a month. But you guys can go to Sora and see some of the best videos that have been generated. And it has also a whole bunch of restrictions. But the problem with that is, let's go to Sora.com, is that these videos, I mean, sure, maybe you'll be able to fake a news video. People did fall for some MSNBC news video hoax. There wasn't AI or anything, but people did fall for that. But look at these videos here, and what do you notice? You see people, doing really interesting things. You see some, I think it's supposed to be anime, 3D anime. You see some landscape videos, of something in Africa. You see some cars driving. You see something that's very obviously fake. People aren't going to be fishing hamsters out of mac and cheese. And then you see a nice train video images here. So what they look like is, and I've always been interested in this, is nice screensavers. Like I always wondered how those screensavers got made for the 80s when AI like this didn't exist. Anyway, these are nice screensavers. These are nice videos. Maybe they can get put into a movie. I mean, maybe the stock images business is dead. Maybe you could even make a simple, nice anime. But you know what you don't see here? And these are what OpenAI thinks is the best videos. You know what you guys don't see here is you do not see people doing, incriminating things like kind of grainy security camera-esque videos. You don't see, let's say I wanted to fake a high school fight video, right? You want to have these two people that, I guess you have to have their faces placed in, and they try to do a high school fight or something, someone doing something they shouldn't be doing, like breaking into lockers and stealing bags. I wonder where that story came from. Anyway, what we don't see is stories like that. We don't see videos like that because the technology is being geared and it's being trained on some of the best images, right? But most video, you can even wager 90% of video on the internet, like is vertical for some reason, is kind of blurry, is maybe they'll even like start off with the camera like this, and then they'll flip here, and then they'll flip here, and it's shaky. And of course, they won't be using the best phones. They're not going to be using it even at the best settings. They're not going to be shooting it in 8K or 4K. It's going to get 720p. For some reason, people also like to film videos on Snapchat with some weird filters, and they have to keep holding the button down. Things like that's how most video is, or even fixed security cameras are not going to be this good. The truth of the matter is that AI video is too good for its own good. If you actually want to fake something like a podcast episode like this, you couldn't fake it because this is running off a 720p laptop camera. The audio quality isn't going to be that good. So maybe you could fake someone who's like really famous, like the president of the United States, sitting in front of the Oval Office and saying something ridiculous. Or maybe you can have fake some type of newscast, but if it's going to be something that's really, really fake, because anyone who posts something like that, like C-SPAN exists. You can guys go back and go check the podcast archives for something, or you guys can go back and check the YouTube channel of any public figure, right? And they'll be fine, right? But for any like incriminating evidence, that's going to take a really, really long time for these videos to come through here. People are like, oh my goodness, people are going to fake anything. They can fake anything. Unless you're like really, really popular, really, really famous, these AI videos are not going to really, really be coming to you. Because let's look again at the videos here that we have on the screen. This is OpenAI's Sora. Like half these videos don't even look real. Okay. I'm sorry. Half these videos, like, what is this? Well, are you playing with lightning? Okay, and obviously this is anime or animated, so it doesn't really matter. I mean that's a nice racing video, but I mean it kind of looks like a video game. Again, maybe someone might think this is believable if they didn't see the watermark, but I mean, really, what's it going to do? Wow, it's animals in Africa. Big whoop. Obviously, this is completely and totally fake. Obviously, fake. This is more of an autistic style thing here. A drowning cat. Like, let's look at this video here. Here's a drowning cat. Now, if this was a real video, first of all, this video, that cat wouldn't be so orange. The water wouldn't be so clear. The water would be kind of blurring. Also, whoever was holding the camera would be, it would be shaky. It would the cat wouldn't look so calm. The facial expressions wouldn't look like that. So the video is actually too good for its own good. So most of what this is going to be used for is either stock, and if people want to do fakery, they can do their own fakery, but it's going to be, increasingly tough. So, I don't think we should be scared about videos like this of this nature. Like I don't condone fighting, but go on YouTube, go look up high school fight videos that are like posted by students or whatever, and you'll see what real actual internet video looks like. It's chaotic. It's not recorded from the best camera. Also the perspective is going to be really weird. It's going to be really shaky. It's going to be like people kind of like moving all over the place. The audio is going to be muffled. It's going to switch on vertical, and it's going to switch back to horizontal, and then it's going to be very loud and chaotic. And that's not what these videos are. These videos are just like stock videos, but a lot more interesting than those stock videos that you can see in YouTube channels. So I think we might actually see more interesting stock videos. And of course, maybe you'll see like people trying to sell off scams instead of using that stupid robotic voice I might use. Maybe try to clone someone else's voice as well. But you'll still see that those things are scams as well. But you know what isn't a scam, and it is totally not a scam. It is the SSALTW book series, which has officially started, and now can officially declare ourselves high school geopolitical experts. So, let's talk about the SSALTW book series. Hope you guys can see this on the screen, and we'll have links in the description so you guys can go buy the book. It is $3 on Amazon. You can guys go rent it from your library if your library does it. But this is SSALTW, The Election, written by TheTechBoy, that's me, and Ethan Shea. So hopefully you guys can see this on the screen. This is a great book. It's on Kindle. If you use the Kindle link, I will also get paid twice, and you don't have to do anything. This is an Amazon affiliate link, so please use that if you want to. We also have them on Hoopla. It's on Apple Books. It's getting pending and going through Amazon, the Google Play Store books, so you guys can get it on your Play Stores as well, on your Android phones. So guys, make sure you guys go check out this book, and I will give you a short synopsis of this book as well as pull up the Amazon link. So Ethan Shea comes to his new school, Glory High, which is based again on the school in the SSALTW web series, and I'll explain the differences here. Where he starts to run for president, because this is a book. The election is not the next day or the next like week, but it's on November 9th, 2020, whatever the year isn't given. So he runs for election on November 9th. He goes up in the polls. So then a corrupt vice president and media collaborate together to try to take him down, including in starting a rally attack. He also goes through multiple very, very funny, in my opinion, press conferences and debates. He is debating, of course, President Allison. He also goes up to debate with someone named Elijah, and he's vice president Geneva is debating Everett and Molly, who's the corrupt vice president, and of course we have Vera also, who is running for president as well. Also, There's a new character in the book. This new character is not based on anyone. I need to make this abundantly clear because we're about to introduce a brand new character into the SSALTW web series, which is based off of reality. SSALTW, the election, the book series has some fake events, like there was no rally attack in real life. There was no electric scooter chase in real life, but it does link into some of the events that happen um, on the SSALTW web series. Like say the Denver's stolen bag. That is a plot point in the story. Of course, the tape that happens on November 9th, 2022 is also a plot point in the story. The Battle of the Crop Top, which is more of an X thing, but it's also important over in the story. Also, you know, many events that happen in the SSALTW series, like Homecoming, right? Since there's an election going on, how are people going to run based off of Homecoming? Because the election will run through Homecoming, which happens in October. In the web series, the Homecoming doesn't happen, and it's a whole political scandal. But there's no president right now. So what happens in the book series? You guys have to go read it to find out. So lots of the issues that get brought up in the book, Hazel is a very key character. She's a lot more key in the thing. Of course, when Valerie tries to nuke Hazel, how does SSA, who's running for president, stand with this? Well, SSA stand with the allies, and of course, GCAM does not exist yet at this time because GCAM canonically in the book series, I mean, in the web series, and in real life, GCAM is a real organization. It's a real thing. You guys could go talk to them if you knew who they were. Um, it, it, it oof. That was bad. Yeah. So GCAM, like, how does the GCAM JVN tension that happens in the book happen in real life? You guys are gonna have to go read that to go read the book to go find out more. So guys, make sure you guys go read the book. It's over here on Amazon. And I'm gonna go find it here as well. But make sure you guys check out the book series. It's really interesting. But Sydney is a very important character in the book. She is not based off of any character in real life. She is completely new. She's created just for the book series itself, and I think she might be one of my favorite characters in the book. And there's so much right here, and there's also a whole bunch of new gates that happen as well. Like Blonde Gate. Blonde Gate is a really important gate. It's a really interesting and funny gate. And I want to see if I can show you what the characters from the book. So here we have Valerie, who is the corrupt reporter for Hawk News, which is the state media of the school. So um, you can also read the explanations, like how does GNN get formed if there's a media already? Like GNN, of course, canonically in the web series was invented by Ethan Shea. There was no web series, but there's Hawk News here. Valerie from Hawk News and Molly Ally. Molly, of course, is the corrupt vice president who is running against Ethan Shea, and Geneva for power as Allison's running mate. And here we have Sydney, 17-year-old 11th grader, canonically, not in the web series, but in the book series. Here we have her. What does she do? What is she a SSA ally? Is she an Eastern ally? What are the relations with Hazel? Again, very important for high school geopolitics as well. And of course, we have our book cover. So this is what the official book looks like, and the thing is the flag behind the school. The colors is purple and gold, and you should be able to see this now. This is the book cover, and if you guys want to see it, this is SSALTW book. Oh, there it is. SSALTW the election. So make sure you guys check this out. It's under Ethan Shea and SSALTW. Ethan Shea for president. Here we have uh, Valerie, and this is Geneva or something. Anyway, that is the book series. So guys, make sure you guys go check it out. And there will be more books in this series. There will be more books in the series, and there's a Christian fiction book, but there's not that much Christianity in it. I mean, there is Christianity in it. I mean, it takes place at a Christian school. we do reference things like the Battle of the Crop Top or anything like that. But I mean, even if you're not Christian, I think it's a fun book. You guys can all enjoy it as well. So it's $3, and also we're offering the book for free to those who want to review it. So if you guys want to review it, get in contact with me so that you guys can check it out and write a review on it. On it, honest review, you can give it 0 stars, you can give it 5 stars, whatever you want. I did catch like 1 or 2 typos in it, so that might make the review go down. Hopefully I can get the edits out, and maybe we'll release print copies if the book goes well. But it's only $3 across all markets except for Apple. Apple is $3.99 because I guess they take a 99 cent developer fee. So my publisher caused it to um, go up. As well, but I guess I could lower the price there. So I'll try to make it $3 across the board everywhere. If you want to get the free book, make sure you just get in touch with me so you guys can review it. But you have to do a review, and I want the reviews to come out before Christmas. It can even come out on Christmas. I'm not trying to get the book sold for Christmas or anything like that, but it's really important. Speaking of Christmas, the SSALTW web series, and we have to make a very important distinction here. The SSALTW web series is basically 99% factual, right? Everything is changed is like the school location and the book. Not the school location, but the school name and all the characters in the book, and maybe some dialogue that didn't happen. Uh, but like the events that happen in this book are all in the web series are all true, except for this one thing that we will be adding to. We will be adding to the thing to help make sense of a very complex event that happened in real life, right? We need to have like an actual motive assigned to that event. I think the best way that we could explain this is that the SSALTW book is what would happen if Ethan Shea, of course, was very determined to run for president, which he was, and all the other characters also very determined, and the school was bigger and planted in the woodlands. It's in the hyper theoretical world, while SSALTW, the web series, is in the reality world. So SSALTW, the book series, is not unrealistic. What happened in that book could happen in real life if there was more students, and they also did all have drives to run for president as much as Ethan Shea did in real life. All right. Speaking of the web series, so actually this is a important aspect, but the school location in SSALTW, the web series, is different from the school location in in the book series. So in the book series, the school is canonically in the woodlands. You hear references to to the Woodlands Mall. I think it's called Woodge Edge Mall or Woodge Park Mall or whatever. But here is an important thing. So at the rally, which is a really important event in the school. So Ethan Shea has a rally here, and this will be referenced in the web series uh, in April entry. But Ethan Shea has a rally here at the mall. This mall is based off of the Woodlands Mall, which I've been to multiple times. And as you guys can see here, he says that there is a ice cream shop on the left or right, it depends on whatever his perspective is, and that there's a bookstore on the left. So as you guys can see, there's actually a bookstore here. This is a Barnes and Noble, and I think there's a ice cream shop here. I think it's one of those. Yeah, there we go. I think it's one of those like nitrogen ice cream shop here, and he has a rally here, right here in the green, and here we have some bushes and some trees. So, what makes this rally very exciting? What makes it important? Well, you guys make sure you go read the book to find out more about that. Anyway, back to SSA Declassified, the web series. We have finally entered into 2024 in the web series. We have Operation Rollerblade Part 2. All right, try to keep 2 months ahead of everything. So right now it's currently January in the web series. That's the Declassified. And it's December now, so I'm gonna have to ramp it up. Then we have some new characters being introduced, some new shakeups to GCam. And the GCam JVN war is still raging on right now. So we have some important key events that are happening now, and also references some real life events that happened at that time as well, like the Texans beating the Colts on Sunday Night Football to make a bid to the playoffs and things of that nature. Like this is completely based off of real life. What happens here actually happened. The tape is actually real, so we just see what happens on the tape. Also, CSM, Christian social media, is a lot more important in the book series than it is on the web series currently. CSM will become very important on the web series, of course, around April at least, and you guys know why. When we filmed the episode, kids are like, "We say," or the Zillion. I think it was April, right? Yeah. All right. So, that's enough of that. SSALTW, the book series and the web series, guys. Make sure you go check it out. Hope you guys are having fun as well. But this leads us to our discussion of high school geopolitics, which we really ramped up. Of course, now because the war is still raging on with GCAM and JVN, we still have some new characters that are getting added into maybe GCAM, maybe JVN. How would that shake up power? And that really brings us to high school geopolitics. I think that makes me now a high school geopolitical expert because we wrote a high school geopolitical book and we wrote a high school geopolitical web series and we ran successful high school geopolitical web campaigns. So, like, when we talk about GCAM, and this is going to be going into the future, we have to talk about, like, should SSA have invaded GCAM, right? And would SSA have allowed ninth grade to invade GCAM? Oh, should SSA have sat down and allowed Valerie to encroach on Hazel's sovereign rights? Right? These are all key events and questions that we will have to go through, and we'll go through this from a high school geopolitical perspective. And if you guys need that kind of counseling or tutoring or something, right, over on like our high schools, I help run campaigns over there as well. So that's really important. High school geopolitics, it's key to achieving, like the website tagline says, how to beat a click and how to achieve world dominance. That's what the website is about. It's about achieving world dominance for the good of you, for the good of SSA, and for the good of the United States of America. All right, we need to talk about now very important thing, like uh, one more thing that we have to talk about. Well, I have this new article that's coming out. So that should be interesting, and I think it will all link in to the SSA LTW series again, both series. So it's going to be completely factory into, but I think more teenagers are going to be interested in finding out about espionage after reading the book series. Right, I've listed it as a Christian fiction book for it says 10 to 18, so it's for middle schoolers, high schoolers, college students, whatever. If they want to read it, the book is set in high school. Oh, all right, that actually leads me to another thing here, which is teen sitcoms, and then we'll talk about let's see, my notes here says election, GCAM collapse, and he's not real. Oh yes, so we'll get to more of that as well. But teen sitcoms, like I said, the book is set in the high school. I think that is important. And important to know because that's what puts the comedy in this. Maybe we'll make it into a movie. Maybe we'll make it into a TV series, right? But when we talk about teen sitcoms, right, there's lots of teen sitcoms online, but there's so many but there's so many that are so bad, right? Like Prince of Peoria, some family show. Like these shows are trying to basically hit you over the head with the message. Like it's going to be a message and you're going to like it essentially. And the message isn't a nice biblically based message. It's not like an Adventure Odyssey episode. No, it's a stupid climate change 37 gender message that they're going to try to hit you over the head with. Right? You guys can't watch those kind of shows too. Right? So it's three sitcoms, teen sitcoms, are actually good. Well, actually, 2 out of 3 of them are actually good. So, of course, Zoe 101. They have these people over on Reddit for some reason who are yapping that Zoe is a trash show or whatever. Is a trash character, which she isn't. She's not a trash character. She is the best character. Like anyone who does not like her is canceled. I'm sorry. I am Matt Walsh now. But anyone who does not like Zoe from Zoe 101 or even the show itself is canceled. It is the best teen sitcom, right? And this the election episode there, and also the 2016 election of Emily Jones over Matthew and Emily Park. Parker. Matthew and Emily Parker. And Parker for President, the 2016 episode of that, and we actually have to talk about that because that actually has something to put on the Odyssey Boy, and all the numerous election stories. Oh, like the Tapper twins, when the Tapper twins won for president. That's a really good book. Like all these books really inspired me to write the SSA LTW book series and of course the web series. Which I made a promises made, promises kept. I said, quote, I will write a book about this school in October of 2023. And guys, guess what? I did write a book about this school, and I did write a web series about this school. So you can't say I did not break in. You cannot say I did not keep my promises. I kept my promise. Anyway, and then iCarly, which is another good teen sitcom. But then we also have another sitcom, which roller skating is actually a very important aspect of both the book. Vera of the book and the web series. Vera is very important. She's pivotal to the book and web series. And she is referenced and seen at roller skating rinks most of the time. But anyway, this is show called Saturdays. It is absolutely boring. I mean, it is apparently a teen quote unquote comedy. Which someone needs to tell whoever wrote that show that comedy means you have to have jokes. And I think the important thing is, and this is why SSALTW is set in a school, well, other than the fact that it's about school, is that school is funny, right? And it's this show, the roller skating show, Saturdays, as the name implies, is a show only set on a Saturday, which means six, well, mostly five. You don't really see any shows on Sundays. 5 days of the week that you are living, right? You're at school. 90% of the country is in school. Sorry, homeschoolers. This doesn't apply to you, right? In a physical building at school, right? And the joy that seeing a show like Zoe 101 is that you see situations that you yourself might get placed in at school, or something just outside the realm of possibility, like the rallies that Ethan Shea holds. Maybe that's outside the realm of possibility, but rallies actually do happen in real life. I mean, you've seen them on TV, right? Um, so that's also why it's funny. Is all these events could happen to you, right? And then they kind of subvert your expectations, which makes it funny. But like, what is really funny about a roller skating rink? I mean, sure, maybe something funny can happen at a roller skating rink. I mean, it does happen in SSALTW. But an entire show, 12 episodes about a roller skating rink, that's boring. Okay. It's insanely boring, right? Do you know why Zoe 101 and iCarly are funny? Because you have all these events that are happening at school, and crazy things happen, and you have these crazy inventions. And even iCarly, she's not at school most of the time. She's at school like half the time in half the episodes, right? But then she does something that's enjoyable. She does her own stream, and all the people are coming together to do the stream. And you know what's so funny or relatable? Because school's relatable to 90% of the nation. And look, iCarly, look, I'm basically doing what she's doing, just better. Um, she also, iCarly did get, the president of the United States on TV. So, that is an achievement. That is an achievement. Um, the people here in the roller skating show, I'm sure there's some jokes you can be made about skating, but like, what aspirations can you have about skating? Oh well, I even won the skating competition. Big whoop. Also, there's no seasons don't really matter. Like seasons matter a lot in school, right? You're all looking towards something, either summer break or Christmas break, right? Then that means you can even have finals, right? There's lots of things that can happen at school. I mean, think about everything that you can happen at school. You got sports teams, you got elections, you got finals, you got you can even have your own detective agency investigating stuff inside the school, like Emily Jones. You got bullying, you got doing well in classes. You have all these plot points that you can turn into a show, and that can be turned into something that's funny. You have, of course, the Chase and Zoe and Logan and all these people are cross aspect of the thing, which of course is duplicated multiple times in SSALTW. Teenage dating to threat to national security. That's a major plot point in both series, right? But that's still a very important thing that's funny. You don't really get that in the roller skating ring. Like, what do you get from roller skating ring? Well, you can win a roller skating thing. Also, seasons. Like I was saying, don't really matter. Like, oh well, it's in Chicago, so it might get cold, but like you're inside a roller skating ring. So the only thing that seasons matter is, oh well, I wore a jacket. Like there was one entire episode about old technology, which it wasn't even that old. It was like a push button cell phone. Well, not cell phone, landline. Big whoop. I wonder how I use this. I guess I just have to pick this up and push button, and I'll make a call. That's not funny. And they did have a fax machine. They didn't know how to use that. That's fine, whatever. But like, in order for a fax machine to be useful, we have to have another person's fax machine, which is again isn't useful. Like most people, this show is in the United States, so I can say this, don't really use fax machines. I mean, if the show was Japanese, then sure, then yeah, I guess it'd be useful. But like, oh well, kids can't use old technology is a nice bit for a YouTube show. It's not a nice bit for a whole YouTube roller skating for a whole series of roller skating, right? That's why Zoe 101 and iCarly are funny because they all happen in school, events that happen in school, and they are all relatable, especially to me. I'm in school. They're in school. I stream. They stream. Right. I mean, I've been to a roller skating rink and it's nice, but these people are at the roller skating rink every Saturday of their life. I'm like, and we don't really get to see them do anything. Like the only reference to school is I think they got grounded once and they couldn't go there because of bad grades, or maybe they got detention, Saturday detention. So big whoop. The only time you see the inside of a school is like if you got in trouble, or if school's just referenced. But you don't even get to see much character development because character development happens over time. How much character development can you have in 24 hours at a roller skating rink? None. And Zoe 101, she lives out of school, so you have tons of character development. You can see their home life and the home and social life. You have them even literally getting bugged in the middle of an off, them getting bugged by the boys. You see them by a stuffed animal. You see them getting, having political campaigns and news and rallies and things of this nature and spying and super PACs and all of this happening on the school. Like, is that going to happen on a roller skating campus? No, it's not going to happen. That's why it's boring. That's why we need to see a revival of teen sitcoms here in America. I'm calling for a revival of them. They need to come back. Like pot wins. Maybe you guys can make a teen sitcom. That would be great. Um, so please do so. Um, but if you like audio teen entertainment, which again, I need to go find some new YouTube channels because seeing the same YouTube channels, like yes, it's funny watching people react to ridiculous people over on TikTok. I mean, that is fun. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, you don't make enough of those types of videos, Matt or Ben. So also the iPhone 14 isn't new. Okay, so could you please stop saying you can get a brand new iPhone 14 from Pure Talk? No, no, no. The iPhone 14 is 2.5 years old, people, not new. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you like audio entertainment, Adventures in Odyssey. I mean, from the Odyssey Boy, we're still up there, guys. We're still up. Not the WordPress site, but the blog site, the Odyssey Boy, the blogspot.com is former student body president Emily Maramy Jones. This is a spoiler, slash satire. Well, not satire, but fake news. Fake news. Anyway, the Odyssey Boy at Blogspot.com. Former student body president Emily Mamie Jones impeached amid assault allegations. This is episode 1000 that streamed on the club. Emily Mamie Jones has been impeached. She's been removed from a student council position for well, I guess it's 1 year, but technically 8 because that election happened October in 2016. I was 9, and I definitely remember listening to that episode on my Chromebook or tablet or something. Anyway, former student body Emily Mamie Jones impeached amid assault allegations. So she's been impeached. She's been impeached. She's been alleged to have assaulted someone, and this is why it's funny because you have a school detective agency, you have news, and father is running for a judge, re-election, and whatever Odyssey district that's going on here, and it's a funny episode, and it's fun, and that people are invested in these characters. I never got invested in whatever her name is. Whoever, I don't even remember the names. The roller skating show. I watched 3 episodes of that show. I'm on Disney Plus until we don't have it anymore. It was the boring show I've ever seen in my life. Like boring. But I can remember the key characters in Zoe 101 or iCarly, and we all did get invested in them because the show was good. It was funny. So these people, this is why we get invested in these characters. Anyway, Emily Mamie Jones, what do you guys think is going to happen to her? Do you think she will be reinstated? Do you think that the allegations are untrue? I think that personally, whoever is sending these allegations in, and the allegations because Suzu lied and people got in trouble, um, because Suzu lied, is that the allegations are false. I think the allegations are false against Emily. They don't fit her character. And I think they're being done so that the school newspaper, which will then get picked up by the town newspaper, will report this, and then Emily's father will lose his re-election campaign. That's what I think. Personally, myself. All right. So that is what's going on in Odyssey World. Um. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you check that out over on this odysseyboy.blogspot.com. Also, make sure you guys click our affiliate links so that you guys can go, help support the channel. Hopefully, we can afford some more things as well. Speaking of people named Sydney Sweeney, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip and Z Flip 6 spokeswoman, has gone viral recently because pictures of her from some random telephoto camera, some New York Post reporter hiding in the bushes. Ooh, the studio uploaded a new video. Took her, and people are arguing all over the internet about if she's pretty or not. And oh my goodness, I've been lied to by women, and it's a scam. Blah blah blah. One by one. And what do I think? Again, we don't comment on people's appearances. But what I think here is, and you guys can see my latest short, is that you guys have all been had. You guys have been scammed. Not by Samsung, not by Sydney, but by the New York Post. And you guys can even notice the New York Post got, let me do the math, 5, 6, 7, 7 times, almost 7 times more comments on this article about her than the last article they had about her a month ago. Because there's a whole bunch of people saying, she's mid or whatever. And the thing is that they took a bad picture on purpose. I mean, the lighting is bad. It's from behind a freaking bush from a telephoto zoom camera. That's not gonna be really good. Okay, it's gonna be a surveillance thing. It's gonna look like a surveillance cam. It's explaining. Oh wow, guys, look, if I zoom in 100 times over something, wow, it doesn't look good. Big whoop. And they knew this was gonna happen, so now they get all the engagement. And you guys got scammed. You guys got had. Okay, I mean, this, like, no one cares. Okay, no one really cares that much. I just had to really give a comment on the situation. Like, really, who cares that she swam in a pool? Big whoop. You know what I care about? Samsung. Like, okay, well, she used the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 instead of Z Flip 6. Now that's newsworthy. No one cares that she would
over the shoulder trick shots
to the pool. Like, how is that newsworthy? It was a 1,000-word article about that. Like, my brain has this information, and it doesn't matter. Like, no one asked. Is the correct response? Like, no one asked. Wow, my brain has the information. I'm so much not worse, not better. Just like, that's well, that's something. That's a, no one cares that she has a swimming pool. Big whoop! I could have told you that.
trick shots are hard. Saving money.
Let's see what the applications that the studio, this is MKBHD's team, think that you actually will
messed up that you could spend $1,000.
That's actually useful because like I've been saying for far too long, we have been saying that applications are important, and they are. But if we don't, let me see if I can get it the way I want. No, okay, I can't. What can I drag? Oh, great. Anyway, we've been saying application. Like, the applications we have are so boring. They're so, in the words of internet commenters, mid. Right, 6.8 out of 10, as one of the commenters described it. Anyway, let's look at the applications that the studio code. I mean, these are professional video editors that they actually use. And I sometimes think, and I'm not a nostalgic person, I sometimes long for the days of, like, computing. I try to go back and read, back about computing in 2005, 2006, 2007, stuff like that. Because, people actually cared about desktop apps back then, and there might have been more cool and innovative software, right? You can even see in Zoe 101, like, she's using a computer to send her emails. She's using, Windows, and they have all these neat computer programs. They seem like they're having so much fun, using their computers. Now, most people don't really like using computers, and it seems like that web browsing and web surfing is falling out of fashion. Like even some Kids Corner episode where it's like, "Let's go surf the web." I think it's from 2007. They don't really do dating that well, but I think Liz is in elementary school, so it's one of the old episodes. He's like, "Let's go surf the web," and even one of the episodes about his cell phone, like the specs of the cell phone is like touch screen, 3.5-inch screen, has a keyboard, even has a camera and MP3 player, all built into it. Like that's a BlackBerry kid. Um. Anyway, the the phone and technology at the time seems like kids don't really care about surfing the web as much. Maybe they're just like watching Instagram or TikTok reels. So I guess it's just called TikToks. But anyway, let's see what the applications that the true professionals want to use. Also, hacking. Hacking seems to be a lot more interesting, back then as well. Like, what are you going to have on your computer that people are going to want? I mean, I guess my book and information about, GCAM and foreign policy, but I don't know if they wanted enough to hack into it. I mean, someone did try to sneak in and steal information about stuff in the book series. So, you guys really should check it out. Check out the book series. Anyway, here we go. I don't have a whole hard time clipping this episode. Anyway, here we go.
$1,000 on a phone and only use it for the same 3 apps.
The East MKBHD, let's go. I did find this nice pinball game. I might review it. Doesn't look like it needs that much processing power, but still, whatever.
At least we thought so. That's why a few of us at the studio decided to put together a list of our favorite apps.
All right, so notice how all the phones are using vertical camera bars. We had a Samsung S24, and then we had the iPhone 11, and then we had the Z Fold.
From weather to games to photos and more.
Here are the studio's picks for our favorite apps of 2024.
So the way that we'll structure this video is we'll actually have the studio vote on the app they think that is the coolest for each category. Whoever takes home the most awards for the best category wins.
All right, let's go. Underrated.
My most underrated app, I think, is probably gonna have to be the not boring weather app. This is one of my favorite.
So there's so many web applications, around. So
indie developers probably ever. It's just such a beautiful app. It also uses sound effects. Like
that's a nice, 3D design. Hopefully, it uses some of the phone's processing
super well. Like.
Also, it would be nice to know if you could get like a genuine weather forecasting or like high tech, like what the pros use software on your computer or even your phone, like not the admirable stuff. Also, maybe even turn your phone into your own mini weather station. I mean, some phones have temperature sensors like the Pixel. You got a barometer on here. Why should we have to rely on the internet of some random server that's going to serve you a whole bunch of ads to tell you the weather when, your phone itself could do it itself? I was watching a Computer Chronicles episode. There was this application for a computer in 1980, which I think you have to have your own sensors because, of course, the computer wouldn't have it. But, your phone might have some of these sensors where it would tell you how much light was in the room and it would tell you how much what the temperature was and things of that nature. Right, I know we have some applications like that on as well. I think there's a Google Journal application, there's a science application, but we need to see more of this, more of making our phones useful, not as like game machines or content consuming machines, because that's when people start getting depressed and start throwing the money away so they could buy ink display phones like the light phone and talk about how minimalist they are for $700. It's like a virtue signal, but terrible. Like Matt Wall says, like no one buys a salad, eats a salad because they want to. It's a virtue signal about how much better they are than the rest of you. Even though some salads are good, but raw milk is bad. Like milk is bad itself. Like milk is disgusting, but I'm pretty sure drinking it raw is even more disgusting. Like we said, like it's like broccoli or something, or Brussels sprouts. Like Brussels sprouts and broccoli are nasty. Well, not that nasty, but they're still bad. But if you eat them raw, it's even worse. Right?
Beautiful. But I think my favorite thing about this app is that the widgets that
why is he holding that pin? This is an iPhone, so it's not like it's stylus or anything.
You can add to your home screen are so beautiful. Like this one right here.
And he is an iPhone user. He's like, wow, we finally get widgets. This is something. And I can move the apps all down. Wow. I mean, What an impressive. Oof.
It changes based on the theme, so the color can really contrast with your home screen setup, the colors going on with your app icons. It's just immaculate.
So first, for the most underrated app, I'm gonna go with Open Vibe. I don't know if you've heard about this before, but this is basically a social media aggregator app that allows you to cross-post across platforms.
That actually sounds useful. It'd be really useful for Ava Harper as well too. So I might actually look into this. That is underrated because I haven't heard about it.
All at once. It's actually very well designed, kind of looks like Mastodon, but you are able to post to Mastodon, to Threads, and to Blue Sky.
Oh, how useless! How literally useless is this? The three most incompetent social media underused platforms in the entire freaking world. Wow, I can post to Twitter Loser Clone 1, Twitter Loser Clone 2, and Twitter Loser Clone 3. Whoop-de-doo. Wow. I mean, it would have been useful if we cut down like, oh, I don't know. And, you know, I'm one to hate TikTok as much as the next guy, but I don't know. Instagram and TikTok. X and Instagram. Not the three most, oh, I'm offended. So I deleted my X account and got onto Threads. And I'm also on Mastodon and I'm on Bluesky. And we don't like those X people coming over here with their bigotry and free speech. And well, you know, I need an application for that. So I just wanted to cross post my thoughts to a platform where no one at all will see them. Yeah, so there we go. Like, what was this application for? Keep opening?
All at once from this app. You can also post to Noster if you've got that. It's got a really nice design. I'm really digging it.
Okay.
Woo! I'm so glad that you can post to the three most useless platforms on the internet. Man, this is great. I mean, next you're gonna be telling me that you'll be able to you know, cut the grass when on rocks. Oof.
Okay. I think Snapchat gets a bad rap, and it's understandable that it does. A lot of people have left. A lot of my friends have left, and I've attempted to convince people to come back with absolutely no luck. But you're missing out on like all the stupid crap that I'm trying to send you. Dogs or birds or
Snapchat's decent, but it's an underrated. Like Snapchat is, I think, literally a plot point in. Well, you know, like I say, all these kids be Snapchatting each other. Like it's not underrated. I mean, if the app is top 50 in the Play Store, it is not underrated. I mean, Threads is probably overrated because it's somehow top 50, but it might be top 50 in downloads. But I mean, if you go on the site, I mean, you'll be seeing more white than black.
or my cat. I understand why it gets a bad rap. I really do. But I'm still on board.
No one's gonna vote Snapchat. Also, I really like it. I always wondered, like before, like video conferencing, like when he took off COVID, you know, people using WebEx, like how people were able to call into those news stations and they look really professional. Also, the people on the street will be like, "Back to you, David." Okay, who do I think is gonna win? Snapchat is out. Like Snapchat's not underrated. Open Vibe is an application that can post your trash to a trash can. So I think not boring Web is actually going to do it because more people are going to care about the web. I think Web is going to win. Web is actually important. You know, Web changes. Unlike Bluesky, which is only has blue skies. Come on. I'm 1-0. There we go.
We made USAA for homeowners who like being ready. That's why we have safety tips for things like fires.
Wow. Productivity.
right, so
I like being productive. Being productive is good. You know, when you're productive, you are doing something important.
productivity app. If you've watched the Waveform episode, you knew it was my alarm app for a very long time, but I am fully into Google Tasks now. I have this widget.
And Google Tasks, I've not really used it, but I mean, I got Samsung Reminder and Calendar and stuff like that. I don't really know why you need that. I mean, if you want, you also have Microsoft Tasks, which is integrated to Samsung.
On my second screen, and you can even see
In my task app, I have 220 completed. I use it literally.
How many tasks does this guy have? 220? Good grief. I mean, he literally has no time to be on his phone.
Every day. It has saved me so many times, and at this point, I honestly don't think I could live without it.
All right, for my productivity app, I've got Google Tasks.
So Google Tasks reminds me of that movie in I think it's called Big Fat Liar or something like that from like 2003, and the kid still his PDA and everything's on it. So I guess that's what this is. So hopefully his Google account doesn't get hacked.
And I really like this app because it's very simple. It allows me to just jot down the things that I need to get done.
How many things does he need to get done? 500? Man, it's gonna be HD. Whew.
Thank you, David Pierce, for putting me onto this. I used to use Google Keep and Apple Notes for basically everything, but now I have Google Tasks separated from all those other things.
What is so good about Google Tasks?
I think the reason David and I switched is not
I think
particularly
Google
because
Tasks is gonna win, obviously.
Google Tasks is the best, but because we were using nothing and it's way better than nothing.
So
Hey, nothing might have something to say about that. I mean, nothing might come along with nothing tasks. And might minimalist, no tasks. Like we don't believe in work. You know, we should just sit around and. Wait.
pick for productivity app would probably be HabitKit. It just makes everything that you're
He's really productive. He got that big phone right there.
trying to do look like GitHub contributions, and nothing quite shames you into doing something like looking at your GitHub contributions. So here I'm trying to journal, I'm trying to meditate, that's clearly not going well. You can see all of your progress in particular.
It looks very high tech. Looks like maybe something from a movie prop. You know, it was off from like 2007.
Habits that you're trying to do, so you can see.
Bring It On, which is an absolutely trash movie. I don't know, it's from 2000, but you know, I will disparage Bring It On any day of the week. Okay, the red team absolutely should have won. Okay, you know, the team that's begging for money on TV, should not have. Anyway.
So you can see what time, basically just like trend matching, which I think is really interesting. I really like that feature, and that's one of the reasons I've been using it nonstop since I found out about it, because
team chooses. Listen to football. Shut up. Like no one cares.
in a year or two, I want to go back and like revisit all of this and just see like where the trends are and be more mindful of everything that's happening. So for productivity, there's two apps that I use most. The first one is Notion. This is what we use here at MKBHD.
I'm trying to become Notion. $10 a month. I used to be 8. Inflation, I guess. I'm trying to become a Notion affiliate person. So, especially I'm really interested in the AI. Well, I guess I used to be, but now we have Notebook LM, which is. I'm gonna give it Tech Product of the Year. Notebook LM, so good. It was really even able to get the jokes in the SSALTW book series. That's over 30,000 words. Okay, it's 100 pages long. Come on.
It's what I use if I'm ever working with a client. I really like Notion on desktop, but I can't stand it on mobile, to be honest with you. There's a bunch of small stuff, like the fact that I can't get my keyboard to move down unless I scroll all the way up. So I actually would say that I mostly, 99% of the time, use my Apple Notes app. So I've been really busy with it today because I'd like you to please subscribe to the studio channel.
That's I think I might have to push this button over here. Yeah. All right, there you go.
So my pick for the
Oh, I didn't get to vote, but I would have voted Google Tasks. I'm 1-1, unfortunately. This is really sad.
So my pick for the creativity app would probably
Google Tasks should have won. I mean, you had 2 people literally picking it. So ridiculous people who are arguing with me, even though I'm right all the time. Yeah, here we go. Creativity
would probably be the
there needs to be a good vector design or application to come to Android. Like we have some, but they're trash. Okay. So hopefully they get better. Maybe I should do it. Watch on my screen. Watch on my phone.
OPZ app by Teenage Engineering.
Oh.
It's basically useless by itself.
Oh. Wow. A useless app.
But if you happen to have an OPZ, so basically the OPZ is a synthesizer.
Wait a second. So you have to buy this OPZ, and then they make you pay $24 for the app to go with the OPZ. So why are you using Z Fold 2? That's sad. Anyway,
From Teenage Engineering, but it doesn't have a screen. So the way that they got around that was by making an app that you can download on your phone, and either your phone or your iPad or anything like that becomes the screen. So if you're ever bored and you have an OPZ, download the app.
yeah, I think it's like one person. I have literally never heard of an OPZ. Like, how is this useful if you don't have an OPZ? Like, this is an application that's going out to almost a million people, and let's see how much an OPZ costs. Oh my gosh, it costs $429. So it might be more expensive than the phone that you are playing it on. Yeah, I think like 3 people have an OPZ. Okay, this might not win. I will protest this if this wins.
Most of my like heavy creative work is all done on my computer mostly. So as far as like mobile apps go, I kind of went a little off category, a little off script. So I chose Chani, which is sort of a like horoscope witchy kind of.
Oh, good. The occult. The occult is now creative. Like, well, how is this useful? Oh, the guys is bringing demons into our phone. This is totally useful. No. Okay, I do not recommend this application. I don't even know if I have to watch this. All right, we're gonna skip on to this. You know, we want to get plugged in, approved, and plugged in won't like this. So let's skip.
Making intentional time to check in with yourself isn't.
Oh wow, making intentional time to check in with the witches. All right, on to the next thing. What is this? Reddit witches patriarchy.
Built in that I'm truly proud of. One of those is Taco Bell. The best part about Taco Bell is you never go and order the same thing. So I'd say,
how was that creative? I mean, what?
the most underrated item that is always an add-on is the spicy potato
Also, it
fries.
costs your health, so you know.
Not every single time. It's like $1.29.
Okay, I think Taco Bell might win because it's the funniest, and this is another app.
It is perfect.
Chalupas are
cheesy
great.
gordita if you like styrofoam with best item, I'm not vegetarian. Chicken quesadilla is incredible, even though it's way too expensive for multiple different sources. It is the Crunchwrap Supreme. One of the only overrated options. Like there's way too much tortilla on the top. It's too dry. Get something else.
I actually get asked about this a lot. Like I post a lot of different stuff on Instagram.
Hopefully it's right now we're 1 and 2 in terms of good applications. I've even forgot about the art app. I mean, even the teenage engineering is better than inviting literal witches into your life.
Instagram, you should totally follow me. By the way, havard.jpg. Have a blast. But a lot of my stories have this like kind of film look to some of them, and it's this app that I discovered a long time ago called Dazcam, D-A-Z-Z, Dazcam. And Dazcam is like the easiest way to get like a disposable camera kind of look. I
think I've played with that application before. I've thought about making a disposable camera app because people like nostalgia or something.
Everything you shoot on your
disposable
phone.
Cameras are fine, but I've used them like when I was 5. But like it's in the trash now. So
and like honestly a lot of it's super convincing. My favorite is probably Instant C with say like the star filter on it, so it like all the different highlight peaks give you a little starburst. It's really fun. But there's a bunch of different options, stocks to choose from. They also do a bunch of video stuff. Definitely check this app out. I really love the
I might check it out. It's like,
the other
better than witches. So
that's been super useful for my creativity at my work is actually today's sponsor, Epidemic Sound.
Isn't that nice of them?
You're watching Twitch. It's the finals, and the play of the game is coming. They make the move, the crowd goes wild, but you missed it because of it.
Twitch has ads?
All right, let's turn this down a little bit. So I just got my Spotify Wrapped, and I have a problem.
I don't care.
Or even copy and paste a Spotify link and find music that's similar.
I still don't.
We can help. Use the link below with the code STUDIO50 for a 30.
All right, let's see. Dazcam won. Okay, I might have voted for that. Let's say I was going to vote for that. Let's give that fairness to myself. All right. I'm so glad that Witches and OPZ didn't win and Taco Bell, that was funny, but Dad's Cam was actually useful. So I'm going to come 2-1. Okay. I can't.
So for
Transit. Ooh, okay, this might actually be useful because I transit a lot.
public transportation, I'd
Okay, so like one place, but I do it a lot.
highly recommend the app Transit. A lot of people ask me why I would use a third-party app instead of something like Google
Oh, I have that.
or Apple Maps, and two main reasons. First of all, I think the real-time tracking is much better. They actually use their user base to tell you who's on a train and whether...
Well, I mean, Google also does that too. Also, I wish they had street navigation as well. Just from to and from each stop, like Live View. I use Live View a lot. It'd be nice to just have everything in one application. Like just cut Google Maps out of the picture.
not that train is on time. So it's almost like Waze for public transit. And then the second reason is it will tell you when you should leave. So if there's a big gap
Well,
in
I'm faster than the app. People walk slow. Looking at you, high school kids.
a train schedule, it can say, hey, stay where you are for 30 minutes and then begin your commute. It's really useful for when I'm trying to go from New York City back to New Jersey on a weekend where trains might be running only every 30, 40 minutes.
So my pick for transportation is the Flighty app, which I actually do not have anymore because it is exclusively an iOS app, which...
Yeah, it's not really useful. Like, I mean, you cut out half of America can't even use it. So hopefully it doesn't win. Transit is decent.
hurts me every day. And like I said, I use the Samsung Galaxy now. So I had to ask Rich for his phone just so I could reminisce about how cool this app is. Basically, you put in your information and your email and if you have frequent flyer numbers, anything like that, and the app will pull all of that information into itself and give you these really cool visuals about all the places you've been. So Rich is far more traveled than I am. So
I mean, that sounds useful, but like, would you pay for that though? I wouldn't. Also, like, I'm pretty sure there's an alternative on Android. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, we have flight trackers on Android. I mean, they're probably it's probably not that hard. Okay, so it's not like it's exclusive. They just don't want to bring it to Android. Come on, like do that many people really care? I mean, it might be nice for a YouTube graphic, but I mean, at that point, yeah, y'all got Google Earth.
I am, so he's gone all over the world. Vancouver, Tokyo. You went to Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Nice. Really cool. And then if you swipe up here, it gives you even more stats. It shows you your most flown aircraft, which is super nerdy and awesome. And I don't know why that's like even there, but it's really cool to know. Then there's the all-time Flighty passport, which if you click it, it's like a digital passport of all the places you've gone.
That's nice. It's like a Spotify Wrapped for flying. Which if I did a Spotify, how do you do a Spotify Wrapped? Let me see what my Spotify Wrapped would be. I have this like one podcast. Oh,
It's just a really clever app. Like it's really fun to look at. So that's my pick for transportation.
I recently switched off of Waze and now I'm on Google Maps. Waze is just overrated and the UI sucks. So I'm on Google Maps now. It's basic, but it gets the job done.
Waze is the superior app, and Andrew does not have a leg to stand on. I'm just gonna say it. What is he like? Google Maps? My favorite app is an app called Waze. You've probably heard of it. It's basically just the most accurate way, in my experience, of avoiding.
It's nice, but you don't even have offline maps. So, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Let's see. How do you make a Wrapped? I've never done this before. Let's see. Well, maybe I don't listen to music, so I don't have enough. Anyway, well, it's not useful. Anyway, here you go.
Avoiding traffic, cutting down on your ETA as much as possible by like getting you better routes, that kind of thing.
Okay, last but not least, I don't know if anyone else has said
Wait,
this.
who won? Okay, I can vote. I'm gonna vote transit. Google Maps. All right, base Google Maps. All right, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Okay, last but not least, I don't know if anyone else has said this, but I'm really obsessed with the Pokemon trading card game Pocket right now. I've been really into this game. It's literally just the Pokemon trading card game, but collectible and mobile. Nintendo went really hard with this app, and there are so many things about it that are so well polished. There's all these things in the app, like when you're opening a booster card pack, you can turn the packs around, and if you open it upside down, you get to open the cards upside down. There's a lot of just different like challenges
I mean, I
and
guess that's
daily
useful,
opening.
but like, don't you just? Is this just buying Pokemon cards on vinyl? Why, guys? Like, I mean, sure. I'm not even sure that's useful, but okay.
Things, and they really did a lot of stuff to make sure that you're coming
Pokemon
back to this app
Satanic or
every
no?
single day. Actually, every 12 hours, because you get to open a booster pack every 12 hours. So
Wow.
it's been pretty good. I'm losing a little bit of interest, but I
Oh,
think that they're
really?
about to really
Who would have thought that opening cards once every half day would start to lose interest?
release more booster packs pretty soon, so that will probably revamp it.
So for fun and games, I was gonna say the Pokemon card game, but I have a feeling a lot of other people in this video did that already, so I'm gonna do something a little different. It's actually called Tech Disc. It's a disc golf app. I'm really into disc golf, and there's not a lot of tech involved in disc golf yet, so this is something that allows it. I actually brought in my disc, and it has this little sensor on the bottom, so I can turn this on, connect it to my phone, and then it can record
I
all
don't
my
think
different.
it's not a game. I mean, that's wait a second. It's not a game. That's a spy tool. Where you can go on and go whee, and track, see how far something goes. You could put that on a drone. You could let's see how high it's going. Maybe even a tracer. Wow, that's gonna be more useful for spying on people than it would be for a disc golf.
All my different throws.
But I don't think
show
that's
me
gonna win. It shouldn't win. Like, how many people play disc golf? Like, when's the last time you saw someone play disc golf?
how
Do you even
fast
know what
my
disc
arm
golf
speed
is?
was, how much spin I'm getting, what my nose angle is. And this has just helped me be able to throw into a net instead of going into a field and really analytically look at how my throw can improve. And it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. You're in your backyard, you're hearing birds chirp. Maybe it's birds that you always hear chirp, a familiar song. Normally, you just have to either know, based off of like being a serious bird watcher or like lots of research to know what bird is making that sound, or you can see the bird and maybe identify it that way. But the Merlin app takes it one step further. You just hit record and it starts recording.
That's not a game. That's a good point. Hey guys, just walk around and identify bird sounds, and that's nice, but it's not a game.
And live as it's recording, little tiny things will pop up saying, that's a black-capped chickadee, or that's a cardinal, or that's a crow, or an eagle, or whatever it is. It's Shazam for birds, is all it is. Yeah, it really is just Shazam for birds.
So-
talked about Dex yet?
Not yet.
Are you going to talk
Speaking
about
of Dex, I wish that Samsung Dex on PC wasn't eliminated on One UI 7.1. They shouldn't be taking pictures away. It's sad.
No, I'm not. It's not an app.
No, shut up. I'm hijacking this right now. This guy right here, every day, he comes in and you know what he does? He dexes, I don't even know how Dex works because I have an iPhone. He dexes this thing, his little storybook, to his PlayStation at home somehow. And I watch this guy every morning playing Hogwarts, what is it, Harry Potter Quidditch?
Quidditch and Hogwarts Legacy.
So if he talks about using any other app, like he actually uses it, no,
That's
he's
the main
lying.
one.
He switched from iPhone. He willingly went green bubble on all of us for Dex.
And I'll do it again.
Good. This is great.
For Dex. So just let the record speak. This is a Dex aficionado. All these other apps, they don't even matter.
Thank you, Ellis. Samsung Dex, if you don't know or haven't seen the studio short, is a feature where you can plug in some Galaxy phones into a monitor and a desktop-like experience will pop up on display. Some apps work, some don't. So I specifically use the PlayStation Remote app in Dex so that when I'm plugged into my studio display monitor, it just pops up beautifully ready to go. And then because the phone is Bluetooth and the PlayStation controller is Bluetooth, pair one to the other, bada bing, bada boom, you're good.
Let's go with Dex. Boot app. Okay.
If you want to check out more
Oh,
recommendations,
Dex wasn't even an option. Okay. Anyway, that's great. That's great. So yeah, guys, that's what we were talking about. Hope you guys go check out the book. Oh, that's a funny. Okay, yes, it's great. Anyway, God bless and talk to you later. Make sure you guys.